Greetings, citizens of Nerdtropolis. Sean Taj here, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and on this episode of Real Insights, my guests are the long game director Julio Quintana and actor Brett Cullen.
Hey, Sean.
Julio and Brett, it's great to chat with y'all today.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Julio, we spoke before the long game premiered at the Houston Latino Film Festival, and I wanted to ask you what was it like to sit amongst the audience and experience a packed theater watching your film?
Yeah, that was amazing because it was I had seen the movie with the Pack Theater at South by Southwest, but this was the first fully pretty much all Latino audience, and there were people there that were like family members of the guys who had gone through this, or they were from the Valley, or whatever. So everything, even jokes that I thought even jokes that the jokes worked even better in that audience. You know, they really got some of the inside, the stuff about Latino culture, things like that. So that was a really fun screening, and then doing it with Cheech also was just a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time. And I remember you saying that golf is not your thing, but did you attempt any swings while filming?
While filming, I did not, because I need everybody on set to respect me and to listen to what I have to say, and that me swinging a golf club is not going to help in that regard. So I left the golf to Brett and Dennis. Those guys are the ones who golfed on set the most, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
And speaking of Brett, what a great performance. I love you in everything you do. I mean, you're a legend in this business. There's other legends in this film as well, such as yourself. But I love how many Texans are part of this film, especially Histonians, and I'm a Histonian as well.
yeah.
Uh, and you're with Dennis Quaid. What was it like to star in a film with one of your closest friends?
Well, I've known Dennis since I was 17. We went to University of Houston together.
Go
Um,
Cougs!
Go Cougs, baby. Don't even bring up basketball right now. I'm still upset about that. The It's like a third or fourth film I've done with Dennis. I produced one I did with him as well, but it's always fun to work with Dennis, and it's always fun to be with friends doing a job that you love to do. And I think at one point on the movie, we were standing on a green, and Dennis put his arm around me, and I put my arm around him, and we said, "Who would have known, you know, 50 years ago that we'd be here, or 40 something years ago that we'd be here?" Because we've been friends since, well, 50 years for me now that he and I have been buddies. But it was a great experience. The film itself is beautiful, I think, and I think it's got a great story to tell, a great sort of lesson for the world to look at a little bit, particularly in the times we're living in. But and also I got to play golf. It's like with Dennis. But it was a really beautiful experience, and Julio's done an amazing job, and his family, his wife who produced it, and Marlon, his brother Alex, who was the DP. And I didn't know about the Houston screening. I'd have come down there for that, although I'd have been probably the only white guy sitting in the audience. They'd have probably started throwing stuff at me when I left. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, and being able to be with friends and to make new friends, which I did on this movie.
No, that's great to hear. And your character in this film, you know, really turns towards the end. I love seeing, the character arc for you. What drew you to this character after reading this wild story that's true? And finally, the audience gets to see what the story is all about that should have been told a long time ago.
Well, you look at a script as a whole, and you look at the story as a whole, and you go, well, that this character is necessary, even though he's the antagonist for the most part, uh, who has to accept at the end that these Mexican kids beat his son, and it was rich white kids, that are members of that club. But that's the thing that's so wonderful about it, because there's a great line in it, and I think it's in the trailer where Jay tells him it's not about the equipment, it's not about that, it's about who you are and who's willing to play the game, and the honor of that. And that, to me, is what the film's about. It's about the honor and the heart that these young men had to overcome everything they had to overcome to get there. And to me, that's what's beautiful about it. Playing a bad guy is sort of fun. Because you can't do any wrong. You're just bad. But then, and Julio and I talked about it, that last scene where they walked in with the trophy. I said, could there just be a moment where he just acknowledges him, like, okay, and he said, yeah, let's do that. So I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, Julio did a great job. Brett, you did a great job. The whole cast is awesome. Thank y'all so much for bringing the story to the forefront for tons of people to watch. I can't wait for the rest of the world to see this. And until next time.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
Don.
man.
Thanks for doing this.
Once again, this is Sean Taj, the mayor of Nerdtropolis, and stay tuned for more movie news, reviews, interviews, and trailers.